everybody, it's Sarah with Loaves and Dishes, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make bone broth. This is a great recipe for today's like today when it's icy and cold outside. So the first thing that you're going to do is get your beef bones and you're going to put them in a roasting pan. And if you don't have a big roasting pan like this, I think any sort of oven-safe dish that's big enough to hold the bones will be fine. It doesn't necessarily have to be a roasting pan. But you do want it to be something with high sides because we're going to put some water in this later and get the frond off of the bottom. And so you want it to be able to hold a little bit of water. So once you get all of your beef bones in your roasting pan, you want to arrange them so that they have a little bit of space, and then you're going to pour a couple tablespoons of oil into your roasting pan. Just a neutral oil. You don't want to use anything like olive oil, just like canola oil or vegetable oil. Avocado oil would be fine, just a little lubrication for the bones. And then you are going to put that in the oven and you're going to roast those for about 45 minutes, and you want to turn them about halfway through. So here we are getting them out of the oven, and you can see Ziggy in the background. He is really hoping that we will drop a bone. But you just want to flip them over about halfway through. And you can see on the bottom of the pan now there's frond. F-R-O-N-D, I think is how you spell it. It's the brown crusty bits that get on the bottom of pans. That's where all the flavor is. So when you flip the bones over, you want to try to get them kind of back in the spot where that is, where the frond is starting to appear. Otherwise it could burn, and you don't want it to burn. But it's not too big of a concern for this. It is more of a concern if you're like frying something in a pan. But anyways, it's just some food trivia. That's called frond. It's the best part of soups and sauces and things. So, okay, so once your bones are done, you're going to remove the bones and you're going to put them in a big stock pot. And these are still hot, so be careful. We just pulled them right out of the oven and then immediately put them into the stock pot. And you can see all of that deliciousness that we're going to be scraping off the bottom of that pan. This recipe is really great for, it's just a bone broth that you can just drink if you want to just drink bone broth, but it's also really great for soups and stews and that kind of thing, and sauces, so it'll be good to have on hand. So then we're using about a cup of water, and you want to do this while the pan is still hot. You put the water in, it steams and fizzles, and that will loosen up all of that brown goodness right there. And you just want to take something and kind of scrape the bottom of your pan. You want to get as much of that off as possible because that's where the flavor is. So once you have just about all of that stuff scraped off the bottom, then you're going to take that water and you're going to pour it into your stock pot. And then into your stock pot, you're going to add an onion, and you can do peel and everything. Just give it like a quick chop in half. Celery, same thing. Just wash it and then, chop it up a few times. You're going to add a couple carrots and 2 heads of garlic, and you can leave all of the peels on everything, and you're going to add some bay leaves and some salt and pepper. And you want to be pretty generous with your salt and your pepper. And then you're going to add 6 quarts of water, and you are going to let that simmer on the stove. And once it's done simmering, then you're going to so this tool that we're using is called a spider. It's just used for scooping things like vegetables out of soups and stocks and things. If you don't have something like this, you could go ahead and run your soup through a colander if you wanted to. If you just wanted to go through and pick things out with some tongs, you could do that as well. You don't have to have a fancy tool, although this tool is not very expensive, and it is very handy if you're doing things, because you could use it for deep frying, like we're using it for scooping things out of soups and things. It's really a useful tool to have. So you're going to let the soup cool down. And then once it's cooled down some, see this film gathers on the top of it. That is fat. It's fat from the bones, and you want to scoop that off. So just get a spoon and kind of gently scrape the top. You want to be careful so that you don't disturb the fat. You just want to scoop it up. You don't want to accidentally mix it back into the soup. That kind of thing. And you can see you can kind of see how it sticks together. Anyways, you want to get as much of that off as you can. And once you get as much of the fat skimmed off the top as you can, then you're going to take your soup and you are going to strain it. If you have a mesh strainer like this, that works great. If you have, if you only have cheesecloth, that works fine. If you only have a colander isn't going to work as good, because as you can see, there's if you look in the strainer, there's little particles of things. Those things would likely settle at the bottom of your soup, so it's not as big of a deal, but you do want to try and get as much of that stuff out as possible. So, but that's it. That's your bone broth. If you want to see more recipes like these, check out loavesandishes.com. If you want to hear more from myself and my mom, we do have a podcast. It's called Dorks with Sporks, and you can find it wherever you listen to podcasts. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We are coming out with a new video every Monday through Friday. And thanks for watching.